So the first thing that we want to focus on in the third trimester for pelvic floor prep is just being aware of our pelvic floor and being able to control all of its functions. So our pelvic floor should be able to squeeze and lift. It is supposed to support us automatically. It acts like a sub pump. It closes, so it's sphincteric, but then also should be able to relax and open. So being able to urinate, have a bowel movement, have a baby, require the pelvic floor to open and relax. So first, I'm sitting on kind of a soft surface here of a cushion with my knees up. This could be a good way to feel the pelvic floor. Can you squeeze and lift? And then can you relax and open? This could be easiest with breathing. So as you inhale, you're going to fill up your ribs, your belly, and expand your pelvic floor. And I like to picture a jellyfish. So you're just going to inhale and expand. My dog won't leave me alone. So keep inhaling, expand, exhale. It should just naturally kind of recoil if you're not trying to do a squeeze and lift. So the other thing that we're going to practice for awareness of our pelvic floor is, can you do that in different positions? So can you inhale, relax the pelvic floor, open the pelvic floor like a jellyfish in different positions. Some positions that this is easier to feel it in are things like child's pose, or this kind of like deep squat position. You can be bolstered up by a cushion or a yoga block, or holding on to a deep squat, like a doorway squat, and also show you some of those. If you don't know if you're relaxing and opening, then use a hand mirror. Prop a foot up on the toilet and see if you're able to see the difference between contracting and relaxing and opening and then pushing down. So the next thing that we're going to practice is, can you push? So what should pushing feel like? I work on this a lot with my clients because some people have been pooping wrong. So pushing out a baby should feel like you're pushing out a bowel movement. So I want you to inhale, expand. Even your pelvic floor, we're lengthening, opening pelvic floor. And then with this expanded belly, can you push down as your pelvic floor is open? Again, practice with a hand mirror, because a lot of people, when they think they're pushing down and bearing down, are actually clenching up. It's something like 40%. So practicing this, also you can just put your hands on your pelvic floor and see if you can feel the difference between bearing down, you should feel pressure in your hands, or clenching up. So it's basically just becoming natural, so that when you're in that moment, there is the ejection reflex, but sometimes we have to really truly bear down, and we want to know that we can use our abs on top of an open pelvic floor, just like having a bowel movement. If you have chronic constipation, this may be something you want to practice, because this could be part of your issue. So then the next thing in this third trimester is that I want to allow my hip mobility and in all different planes of motions. Hip mobility to open that pelvis, and then to also, the more rotation our hips have, the more lengthening we can get of our pelvic floor, and our pelvic floor needs to be able to lengthen and expand to get baby out. So our pelvic floor contracts up and in also under fear and anxiety, right? So we're stretching, we're lengthening our brain to body connection, but if the room is an environment that feels anxious and fearful, then your body's automatically going to clench up. So we want to do all of those things, and then also do birth education so that we feel prepared going into birth, so that our body isn't naturally clenching up. But here are some of my favorite hip stretches and pelvic openers. Let's talk about perineal massage. So first, where is your perineum? It is between your vagina and your anus, right? So it's kind of where all of these muscles come together. So a lot of times this is where women tear. And as baby is coming through, there's a big expansion here. There's a lot of pressure here. So we want to put pressure on the perineum, not so much to like passively stretch it, because we're not sure what that actually does, but we actually want this tissue to get used to pressure so it can relax around pressure. Because again, our pelvic floor clenches up when it thinks it's in danger. So if there's a lot of pressure happening, it could actually try to clench up. So you can use a wand, your partner, finger, like if you can reach down past the bum, a thumb, but let's talk about what to actually do. So around 36, 38 weeks, you can start with the perineal massage, and basically you're going to go just inside the vaginal canal. It doesn't have to be deep here because, again, the perineum is kind of a superficial layer, and you can press down, hold kind of moderate pressure. You're not stretching and pulling. You want to just relax your body around that pressure, take deep breaths. Then you're going to work around like a clock to both sides. So gently diagonally here and gently diagonally here. If you have a wand, again, you can do this a lot of different ways. There's no real wrong way to do it, but you don't need to be tough and pulling on yourself. Again, it's like adding some pressure and allowing your body to relax around that pressure. Also, full range of motion, squats, and lunges are your friend during this time. So we want to keep your glutes strong so that your pelvic floor can feel like it can actually relax, because it's a pelvic stabilizer, but so are our glutes, so is our core. So if our glutes and our core can maintain some good stability and muscle strength, then our pelvic floor can really feel like it can relax instead of holding everything up and in. Like, we don't want it to do that job during birth, right? So we want our glutes to be going through full range of motion, squats, and lunges, obviously without pubic bone or pain. So I often suggest holding on to something for women late in pregnancy to get that full depth. Instead of around second trimester, if we're having trouble with full depth, I normally have people go into like a bench squat, a sit to stand, something like that, because we're working more on strength than depth. So this is going to change in third trimester and really train through full depth to keep those glutes strong and working in their full range of motion. For anyone who's had a history of pelvic pain or been told they have an overactive pelvic floor and they're anxious going into birth, come into a pelvic health PT. I love working with birthing people to see what position we can get them in where they can really get that lengthening and pushing motion. Because a lot of times the pelvic floor awareness is just a little more complicated with people with a history of pain. But normally we can work on finding those positions. And again, your body is probably going to take over during birth to get you in the position that you need to be in. But knowing you, your partner, your doula, that you have some position options that you know your body likes is a great tool to go in with confidence to know that you can get into those positions and your pelvic floor is going to be able to relax. And that assessment can be done by a pelvic health PT. Also, bring in your doula or bring in your partner so that everyone is on the same page. And the last pelvic floor prep for people getting ready to have birth is really working through emotional fears, mental setbacks or roadblocks to bringing a child into this world, whether that is physical fear or kind of economic fear on the other side or partner relational things. Our body really responds to anxiety and stress and fear, especially our pelvic floor. So the best thing we can do, I won't say the best thing, another great thing we can do for our pelvic floor is to address the emotional and mental component of your readiness to bring in this baby to the world. Your body will respond to that openness and really allow your body to birth.